Film number 3 in this series of data network films is about the Ethernet. And the Ethernet is a family of network technologies for local area networks. And they are set within layer 1 and 2 in the OC model, or if you like, layer 1 in the TCP IP model. The TCP IP model layer 1 is a bundle of layer 1 and 2 in the OC model. And it's the standards that we talk about is IEEE 802.3 for wired networks and 802.11 for wireless networks. And within 802.11, for example, you have sub protocols in form of letters. So you have 802.11a, b, n, an, and so on. The name Ethernet comes from the medieval science ether, where they thought that light needed something, even in outer space, in vacuum, to propagate. So they thought that there was something called ether to carry light in space. And they've used the same here in network technologies to the thing that carries the data around in networks. In the early history of Ethernet, you had something called 10 base networks. They were 10 megabits per second, and 2 was for 200 meter cable. 500. It was possible to have a 500 meter long network. Those were bus topologies. Then you had a star topology based 10 base T for twisted pair cables. And then you had some fiber optic versions. Then came 100 base T for twisted pair, and then a number of different fiber optic networks. 100 was for 100 megabits per second. Then gigabit Ethernet with 1000 megabits per second, twisted pair and fiber. And now the next thing along the line is gigabit Ethernets. Standardized is in IEEE 802.3 AE, which is the most recent standard. So it's based entirely on optical fiber, while all the other standards here, gigabit, 100 base and 10 base, they could be implemented in both copper and fiber based. The 10 gigabit is entirely based on optical fiber. And so that means that we will still have gigabit Ethernet around for many years to come for the copper based networks, which is common all the way to the desk, while fiber optics is more common as a backbone network.